This is like free therapy. And anybody who has ever felt like they needed therapy but didn't want to admit it to themselves, try this, because it really is. It's free therapy. I don't think you can do this and not feel better about something. I don't think you can consistently practice and write morning pages without nothing changing in your life. I don't think that that's actually possible. But I mean, I'm sure there are people that are just so against change. They'll find a way. But hopefully that's not you. I really thought about it, and I've condensed it down to literally, I think, 6 things. So here are the 6 ways that morning pages has altered me, or, you know, if you don't like change your life, if that's a bit too drastic for you, altered my reality. The morning pages helped me uncover my hidden dreams. Okay, and the reason it did that is because when you are writing morning pages, there is no judgment. No one's going to read it, so no one cares what you're writing. So you can literally write anything there. And you start writing stuff that you are hoping about and dreaming about and thinking about. And there's a part of you that stopped dreaming. It's like it shut down. For me, it did. Like, I still had goals. I've always had goals, and I've been very like, you know, I want to achieve this and I want to do this. But none of that had to do with the things I wanted for my soul. I'd lost connection to what that was. And just writing every day and getting back into contact with that, it's like that part of me just opened up and revealed itself again. And I was able to access what those things were. And really, they are not different than the things that I wanted when I was a child. There's maybe a little bit more nuance to it now, and there's a little bit more specificity to it now, but basically the foundation's the same. So it really put me back into contact with what it is that I want, my dreams, and realizing that those things are obviously important. Why else would I still have them? The second way that I was altered by the morning pages was that it helped me identify areas that I needed to heal. I'm not someone who has always been very in touch with my emotions. I have known that I had issues, and I knew that there was underlying pain in my life. I didn't exactly know where it was coming from or even what to do about them. I was more of a avoidant type of a person. I pretend to be fine on the outside. I act like I'm really capable. I mean, people buy it because I'm such a good actress. No, I'm joking. People buy it because I put on such a mask. And the problem with that is that you start masking it for yourself, so you lose connection with that as well. I don't even really know what I'm feeling. Like, am I really happy in my life? I don't know. But the morning pages really helped me uncover that for myself too. Because when you start giving yourself the freedom to just write everything that you're feeling and thinking, and there is no limitation on, okay, this has to be a significant thought or this has to be a significant problem. It can be a tiny problem, but the more you write about it, the more you realize, whoa, okay, this little thing that I thought was so small actually goes quite deep. Or this thing that I thought was so big is actually nothing. It was just on that day. But because you write it every single day, these patterns start emerging. Because all your thoughts and your feelings, like on a weekly basis, sort of gets mapped out, and you start seeing, oh, there's these red flags popping up. So I don't know if I would have ever been able to really identify and pinpoint these things with such accuracy if I didn't do the morning pages. And that's sort of why I say it's free therapy. I wonder how long it would have taken for a therapist to drag it out of me, or never mind that, how much that would have cost. It just is not something that I would have done. Number 3. Now this one was very unexpected, but super necessary. So the morning pages really helped me get over my perfectionism. I didn't know that I needed to get over my perfectionism, first of all. I thought that, my perfectionism was something that helped me. Turns out, not so much. Not at all, actually. It didn't help me at all. So the way it helped me to get over my perfectionism was, first of all, the fact that this writing didn't need to be perfect. I didn't need to, there was no ending really to it. There was no real point to it. So I couldn't get hung up on the little things. And no one was going to read it. So, and I wasn't even supposed to really reread it at the beginning. But knowing that no one was going to read it, there was literally like no consequence to this thing. So, and I had to do it quickly. So stream of consciousness writing is when you don't stop and think what you're going to write. You literally just listen to what's going on in your head and try and get it on paper as quickly as possible. So there is literally like no judgment. There's no thought process behind it. You are just verbally vomiting basically onto a page. It's writing vomit. Okay, so where was I? Perfectionism. Okay, yes, your critic. So the idea is that early in the morning, that little voice is sort of not awake yet. Because that little voice, that critic, is your subconscious, that is the fearful part of you that is actually trying to protect you by telling you things that is basically outdated, if you want to think about it like that. It's like a computer. Gross. It's like something just flew into my mouth. Ugh. If you think about it like a computer program, it's basically like outdated software that keeps bringing up error messages, or that keeps glitching, or these are little things that you sort of convinced yourself of to basically protect yourself from failing or from getting hurt, or basically from changing, because your subconscious really likes you to keep things status quo, you know, same old. And so this little voice I had always identified with, I thought that that was me, you know, and it was a rational part of me, because believe me, this voice can get super tactical. It is crazy sometimes, the stuff it can tell you and, you know, make you believe that it's, because it comes across as so logical and like, yeah, that does sound right. It does sound like the right thing to do, because that's the responsible thing to do. You know, I really shouldn't film that video now, because, you know, we are losing light, and, you know, my child needs me, and, you know, that's the responsible thing to do. Like, you need to be a better mother. These sorts of thoughts will keep you down in life. Believe me, I know, because I've listened to it my entire life. And so this is the main purpose of morning pages, is to get you to identify that voice that you call the critic. I mean, you can call it whatever you like. I sometimes call mine Cruella, because I read too many 101 Dalmatians. But that's what it reminds me of. It's this, it'll pick on the like worst parts of you and just bring it up when you least need it. But the idea is that in the mornings, this little voice is still sort of asleep, and so it gives you a chance to spill out on the page and say all the things that you want to do without that little voice like constantly saying, oh, you'll never do that, and that's impossible, and no, you idiot, how dare you think that you can do this. But eventually it does wake up and it does start saying those things, but then you can go, okay, I hear you, but yeah, you're going to blabber on, and I'm going to continue writing, and the stuff you say is funny, but I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to let my life be dictated to by a little fearful voice that, like a little naysayer. But the morning pages, the exercise of doing that is basically like just getting beyond that thing. And once you've gotten all of that out in the morning, your day is free. Like, you are free of it. You've basically unshackled yourself from that voice, because now you have called it out. every time it pipes up, you're like, I hear you, I caught you, there you are. You're not going to convince me anymore that you're the rational side of me. You are not the rational side of me. You are the weird, scared, crazy part of me. I don't even know if you are part of me. But anyway, maybe you are. That's not the point. The point is just that it helped me get over my perfectionism by helping me get rid of that little voice, or basically dethroning the voice is what I would like to say. Because the little voice will never go away. So don't be upset. Don't expect it to go away. It will not. It'll stick around forever and ever and ever. But I've noticed that in my morning pages, when I started writing them, the stuff that would come up was prolific and it went away. It became less and less and less. And now when I am still very stressed, sometimes it will it will pipe up. Hello. Okay. Number 4. I feel like having the morning pages served as vital guidance that I really needed in my life at the time, and still do, that I sort of lack in my actual life. That's not to say that I don't have anyone to guide me, or I don't have, this is not a pity party. I do have parents, and they're not stupid. They are smart people. But the type of guidance that I really needed was a bit beyond most people's scope, I would say. If you're not a legal, a trained therapist, or a trained whatever, head doctor, then you probably wouldn't have been able to help me. So the morning pages served as that type of guidance, because the freaky, weird thing that it does is it helps you almost guide yourself. It reveals the answer to things to you. It's really strange. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not. It really is strange. But what Julia Cameron explains is that it helps you connect to that side of you that really does have the answer, because you do really know what to do sometimes in your life, but it's sort of like when someone else says it to you, then it can click sort of and go, yes, that is like I should do that. But you actually knew that before you had to really outsource your advice. But it takes a long time to get there. It takes a little bit of digging and a little bit of, it's like chewing bubble gum. Like it takes a while to get it to that consistency where you can like blow a bubble. It's the same thing with problems. Sometimes you have to chew on it a little bit. Sometimes you have to sleep on it a little bit. But eventually the answer does come. And this was really, really nice for me to have, because I didn't have it in my life in human form, in the form of another human being. I only had it in myself. And what's really great is that now I know that I always have that, because I always have myself. So what I used to do was, or what I still do today, is I write in my morning pages, and I'll get to a point, maybe I'm writing about something I'm annoyed about, so I should probably just take a sip of my coffee now. Sorry. I will write about something and it'll become clear or evident that there's a problem that I'm trying to solve, that there's something that is bothering me, and I'll start writing about it. And as I get to a certain point, I'll just write a question about it, like, should I leave? Should I stay at this job? Or, should I, what should I really be investing my time in right now? And then I'll just close my eyes and literally just listen. And the first thing that pops up is always just this most simplistic right answer. If you are going to watch any of my videos, and if I make any more videos, just know that there will always be a dog, a child, or a tractor, or something in the background. It's just never going to be one of those quiet videos, and I'm just not one of those people that sits in a soundproofed room. And I don't, life carries on. So that's guidance. That's the guidance portion of it. I don't know if this one links into all the others, but this is in my notes. So I said here that it helped me find my own way forward. And I think what that really comes down to is probably more about the fact that I've really felt stuck for a long time in my life. I wouldn't have necessarily labeled it as stuck, but I've always had a problem with getting started. Let's put it that way. So it's not really stuck because I'm not getting stuck in something. It's sort of like I don't get out of the blocks, like they say in athletics. I don't get out of the blocks. I get stuck at the beginning. I don't ever really start, and so I have a hard time building momentum with things, and part of that is my serious perfectionism hindrance that I've had my whole life. But the morning pages really helped me find my own way forward. And it has helped me get past this. Maybe not at the rate that I've wanted it to. I wished that there was like a silver bullet for this problem, but there isn't. I will probably make a lot more videos about this specific issue because it's something that I am currently still sort of struggling with. But I mean, the fact that I'm recording this video tells you that I've moved past it a little bit. I will get more into it in some other videos, I'm sure, but it really has helped me find my own way forward, because as you write about your problems and you write about what you want and you write about what you don't want, a certain path does become sort of illuminated to you. I think it links up a little bit with, you know, the guidance part. So we can actually call that number 5, 4. Okay, so number 6. 6 is a big one. It really gave me hope. And now hope is a slippery topic, because for hope is, I think for a lot of people it has negative connotations sometimes, because I think people think about false hope and about hope being somehow for the ignorant, or, you know, hope is something that you have if you don't have a plan, but that's not what I'm talking about. So when I say hope, it's just a general feeling and a general attitude and almost a decision that you make. It's like, it's almost like happiness for me. Happiness for me is a decision that you make. And once you make the decision, it affects how you act in your life, and it affects the other choices that you make, because you first made the decision to be happy. And happiness is an attitude. And that is how I feel about hope. But it is something that I didn't have in the past in my life, was hope. And the magical thing about hope is that it can really reinforce you and give you energy and give you sustenance, I guess, when you really don't have it and when you really need it. And hope is also something that builds on itself. The more you practice it, the more you realize how magical it is and how it really positively affects your life. So just by deciding that you're going to be hopeful, and it's that somehow you know everything's going to work out. I don't know, you really get that from doing the morning pages. So I hope this helped you in any way. This is like just everything I have experienced doing them, and hopefully this hasn't been like super boring. Let me know. Okay, see you soon. Ciao.